Hi, I'm Sharon Bill. Welcome to my theory tuition series where we're working together step by step through each of the ABRSM theory grades. There are lots of resources available to help you on my website. If you go to sharonbill.com, you'll find some free PDF information sheets and you can download those in US letter or A4 and they accompany each step of this series. You'll find a page there with links to all of my YouTube video tutorials, and you can also find out about the books that I have available. I've written an exam technique guide, how to take your ABRSM Music Theory Exam. It's full of tips and hints on how to best prepare for your exam and also how to make the best use of your time on exam day when you're actually working through your exam paper. So if you visit sharonbill.com, you'll find it's all there. If you can give me a like, that would be really fab, and please do subscribe to my channel to keep updated. There's lots more to come. And now we're going to complete the first of the 2014 grade 4 past papers. So we're going to complete paper A by turning to page 6, and we'll start with question 6. And I know that I'm repeating myself here, but do try this on your own first of all. It's always better to learn by your mistakes. Always work in pencil even on exam day, and then it doesn't matter if you go wrong. You can just rub that out, and in these past papers it's really good revision even if you just learn by your mistakes. So question 6 asks us to add the correct rest or rests. That's the really important bit to watch out for. The places marked with a little star to make each bar complete. Now it says rest or rests because we have to show that except for the couple of exceptions where we can group things, we need to show each new beat with a new rest. We need to show each crotchet beat grouping or quarter note grouping. So we should have 4 quarter notes, 4 crotchet beats per bar. Let's see what we've got here. Well, we've got 1 beat here, and then we've got 2 half a beats here, so that gives us another beat. Now here we have 2 demi-semis or 2 32nd notes. Those two take the same time as 1 semi or 1 16th note, so that's a quarter of a beat. So far we have 1, 2 and a quarter beats. So straight away we know that we've got the first beat absolutely free. So there's beat 3. So we've got 1, 2, 3 and a quarter beat. So we've got 3/4 of a beat, and so we need to show this group here as a crotchet note or quarter note beat. And so I'm going to have a quaver and then a semi-quaver rest to show the divisions. I'm not using a dotted quaver rest, although that's the same time value. I'm steering away from that just to show that we're not slipping into compound time. It's more secure to show that in separate rests there. So there we can see we've got a half a beat, a quarter of a beat and a quarter of a beat that makes up our full beat. If you find that difficult to visualize, I just think of the divisions like this. These 2 demi-semis or 32nd notes give us a quarter of a beat. We need to finish that quarter of a beat, leaving half a beat left. And there's our full beat now accounted for, and there's our last beat of the bar. Let's see what happens here. Now then, we've got 1 beat here. Don't be confused by all of these triplet signs. It just means 3 in the time of 2. So we've got 2 semi-quavers, 2 16th notes worth here. The triplet just confuses that maths a little bit. And then we've got a quaver here. So really what we've got here is 1 beat. And then here 3 in the time of 2 gives us another beat. So we've got 1 beat, 2 beats, 3 beats. So all we're missing in this bar is 1 beat rest there. So that's easy peasy now. Let's carry on. So we've got 1 beat here, a half a beat, plus another half of a beat. That gives us 2 beats there. We've got 1 beat here, we've got a half of a beat here, so we're actually only half of a beat missing, and so we just need a quaver or an eighth note there. There we go. Now let's look at this next one here. So far we've got one beat, we've got 3 beats missing. Now you wouldn't show that in one beat, you wouldn't use a dotted minim, a dotted half note rest, because that's now looking like compound time, and remember every new beat needs a new rest. So our first thought would be 1, 2, 3. However, we can just condense that by losing 2 individual crotchet beats and showing a minim beat, because if you remember, one of the exceptions to every new beat needing a new rest is in 4/4 we can show a minim's worth of rests, a half note worth of rests, so long as it doesn't cross over the middle point of the bar, which in this case it doesn't. So we can easily see each half of the bar there. So we would have a 1 beat and then a 2 beat rest. This last bar is easy peasy because we need to show a full bar's rest by showing a whole note or a semi-brief rest. Coincidentally, that adds up to 4 beats, but remember this is just a shortcut for a whole bar's rest regardless of the time signature. So there we go, that's that one done. A bit of maths involved there, but we got there. So let's move on to the last question. So question 7, this is always my favourite, where we're starting to look at the chords. So we are in E flat major, and we're going to have to name these chords as 1, 4 and 5. And so let's just see what we're looking for. 1, 4 and 5. So chord 1 is based on E flat. I'm not going to bother with all the flats though, because the key signature does that job for me. So E, F, G, A is the 4th degree of the scale and B is the 5th. And now I'll build the triads, the 1st, the 3rd and the 5th. E, F, G, A, B. A, B, C, D, E, 1, 3, 5. B, C, D, E, F, 1, 3, 5. And so that's all the thinking done now. So let's see what we've got here. We have E, G, E, B. Of course there are flats, but your key signature deals with that. And we can see straight away it's chord 1, so we use a Roman numeral 1. Roman numerals show a chord built on a note. If it was a single number, like the digit number 1, it would just imply a single note. We use Roman numerals to show a chord built on that note. So here, number 2, we have an A, an E and a C. We can see that's all the notes of this chord here, so that's a chord 4, the subdominant. And then chord 5 is B, F, D, F. So we can see that's a chord 5 here. And so that's job done. There we go. Let's look at the next question. So the last part of this question, we need to write the key signatures and then we need to give the triads, watching out which clef we're in as well. Now this is another example of where I find it really helpful to write all of my key signatures, major and minor, straight away. If you're not sure how to do that, there's a video that I've done explaining how to write out the circle of fifths, and you'll find the link to that in the description and also in the cards. And if you do that before you even start your paper, you've thought of it all once, and then you can just refer to it without having to constantly keep sort of dredging up that information to memory. So G minor is related to B flat major and has a key signature of B flats and E flats. The dominant is built on the 5th degree of the scale, so G, A, B, C, D. So 1st, 3rd, 5th built on D. The only thing to remember is in the dominant of the minor, we have to raise the 7th. In G minor it would have F sharps, and it always forms the middle note of the dominant triad. So we have to remember to raise the 7th degree of the scale, which forms in the middle of the dominant there. Okie dokie. Now we've got to just watch our clef here. We need E major, which is F, C, G, D sharps. So F sharps, C sharps, G sharps, D sharps. Just takes a bit of thinking there if you're not familiar with that clef, as I am not. And now the tonic, we need to start on an E. So C, B, A, G, F, E. First, third, fifth, E, G, B. And then I know I'm right because that B is one step below the middle C that is shown here in the alto clef. So there we go. And then finally we're in the bass clef and we need to write the key signature for F sharp minor. F sharp minor is related to A major, so we need 3 sharps. Placing those carefully in the bass clef, F, C, G. And then we want the subdominant, so F, G, A, B is the 4th degree of the scale. So there's our B, 1st, 3rd and 5th to build the triad. There we go. That's the end of that question, and that's also the end of that paper. I do hope that's helpful to you. I hope it's helping you with your studies. These past papers are an excellent revision resource, even though the older papers and the layout of the paper for your exam from 2018 onwards has changed slightly. These are still really valid as a revision exercise. I hope it's helpful to you. If it's helping you, please give me a like. That would be super, and please do subscribe to my channel to keep updated. There's lots more to come. And also please do visit sharonbill.com and make use of all of the resource that's available to help you there. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.